Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back to Studio 22. My name's Matt and this is a trial and tribulations of building your home studio. So before we get into it, a few disclaimers. I don't get paid for anything. This is all opinion based on what we've purchased and how we've purchased stuff. I don't do any video editing because it's not my cup of tea. I will tell you stuff as we go along. There will be no wait till the end of the video to see how much we paid. I'm not into any of that. What I'm into is providing help and assistance to people who are looking to build their home gym or studio, whatever you want to call it. Ours is called Studio 22 because we live at number 22. Nice and simple. Just a bit of context. Both my partner and I are natural bodybuilders. We compete in a few federations and we needed equipment within the studio that fulfilled everything we needed, which is why my introductory video, it was a brief just introduction to what pieces of kit we've got in. So we needed something that we could use and was compatible for us, but also my partner coaches and teaches in the afternoon through to the evening, and we needed something that clients could use as well. Now, before we chose what I'm going to show you, we looked at other options. We looked at other modular systems with integrated pulleys and smiths, and they tick boxes. But this particular company ticked more boxes. But also it was their approach to us and what we were looking for and how they could assist us. So this is, drum roll, this is the Muscle Squad Advanced Trainer. Now, I will tell you what we paid, and I've got it wrote here. So this is what we paid. So it's a basic breakdown of what we paid in total, and it's different to what it is on their website. So I will explain. Muscle Squad, what most companies offer, you can buy it on its own. However, they offer a package deal, which is more beneficial to you, the consumer, or us as the consumers. As I said, I don't get paid. My opinion, we got what we wanted. Now, you can go on the website and just buy what you want. And a lot of people do that in most things we do in life. However, something like this, you need to go and try. Because I'm 6'2", Olivia's 5'8", she says. She's probably 5'6". Don't tell her I said that. And this may not be ideal for some people, but it's ideal for us. The square modular ones where you've got loads of space and things like that, that might be ideal for you. But what we wanted and what we needed was just, this was ideal for us. So we paid in total to Muscle Squad £4,204. Now, that might sound a lot, but what we got in return was quite a lot. So just in context, you get a advanced system. You get, as part of the package, you get an Olympic bar. You get the option of tri-grip weights, bumper weights. You can add a little bit more and have them as slim weights that are calibrated. So they've got quite a lot to choose from within your package. You get a bench. What else do you get? Let me just have a look. I've got it on mine here. So you get a bench. They do packages with dumbbells now. So there's lots of choice with this company. Now, what we did was something different. We said, actually, we don't need that and that, but we would like that and that. So, for instance, they had incremental 1.25s and 2.5 bumper plates to go with the bumper plates or tri-grips. We didn't need that because we already had some. So we said, can we swap this out for this? And they said, yes. So they were very, they would swap stuff out for us as needed. So they have a really nice bench. It was red and black. However, Olivia wanted everything black. That's the style today, and that's what she wanted. But also Muscle Squad had a bigger, better bench. So I'm just going to bring it in. Give me 1 minute. Now, I thought this was the bigger, better bench. And I was right. It is. So this is their bigger, better bench. Let me just tilt the camera for you. What I liked about this is, like I said, I'm 6'2", and the back on this is very long, so it offers me a lot of support. Now, Olivia likes it, but there's a few things she doesn't like about it, so we're going to buy another bench. And as I said, not everything fits everyone, so this is my baby. Olivia's going to get something else. So we paid an extra 50 quid to upgrade the bench. Okay, so they gave you that option. We also added, let's put that over there. We also added the Muscle Squad grips. So, a bit like another company in the world, Muscle Squad did some grips. So we thought, see, told you I don't do editing. We thought we'd introduce those. We were used to using other grips. So we thought, why not? Let's get those. So we got loads of grips. We also got some jammer arms. Now, I was a bit anti-jammer arms, but my partner, Olivia, wasn't. But I use them more and more now as I find more and more exercises that I can use them for. And I'll do a video on that at some point on jammer arm exercises. So let's talk about the rack and what you get with it. So if you buy the basic rack, you get a lat pull down bar, you get a straight bar, you get your J-hooks, you get your safeties, you get your D-handles, which I quite like. I'll just go and grab one off the stack. Got a really nice soft rubber textured grip, fully movable, just a very nice handle. I quite like it. It's good. Does what it's supposed to do. Dip bars. Now, dip bars, I don't particularly like them. Other half, she loves them, and she dips away like no one's business. But I just find them, they're not the right angle for me. But like I said, we're all different. So at some point I will have to invest or try something different. Now the rack itself has 3 stacks. It has a stack either side for your pulleys. Now the pulleys at the front, so they sit at the front of the rack, and one's down here. And they offer a 2-to-1 system. Now I said at the start that we needed to find something that was good for us, but also good for clients. So we have clients with different abilities, so it's really good to bring them onto a nice 2-to-1 system, and it is a nice 2-to-1 system. Now at the front at the bottom, which is covered at the moment, we have a landmine, which you can use your Olympic bar or your 1-inch bar, so it offers both. And just at the bottom there, you can see it has a foot plate, so you can do low rows at a lower weight for clients who perhaps aren't using it, or if you're doing a bit of rehab for yourself and things like that, like I have been doing recently. It's quite good for that. Now, internally, just inside the lovely pulleys, it has a Smith bar. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it the other way so you can have a look at the back of my hoodie, because it's my new hoodie and I really like it. And it's from a company called Always Forward. Check their website out. The premise of the company is very, very good. So just have a quick look. There we go. So I'm just going to bring the Smith down. So if you know about Smith machines, you'll know that you have to rotate it on and off to get it onto the pins to offer you a bit of safety, which this Smith bar does have. This Smith bar is 18 kilograms. It has knurling on, like most bars in the world. And it does have some safeties, which I'll bring out here so you can see. So it does have some safeties. So if you do happen to drop the bar, it just stops there. So really good. The one thing I like about this Smith, as I said, I'm 6'2", and I can put the bar all the way up and walk underneath. So don't bang my head like I did on one I tried out, and I left myself with a nice little noggin bump. So there we go. Now at the back you can see there, we've got a seat, and that seat is because this was one of the fundamental reasons, I'm going to bring this closer, fundamental reasons we bought this. So we wanted to utilise as much space as we can. So initially this was just going to go in the middle of the room facing out, However, we found a couple of problems with that. How the cabin is built, you have these things which stick out. Now, if we'd have put that where we were initially going to put it, we'd have lost a lot of space within the studio. So we decided not to do that. And we thought, we'll just stick it in a corner. Now, when we went to Muscle Squad, and I've not seen one like this yet, another one, it has a stack to the rear. Now, there are lots out there that have stacks to the rear. Even Muscle Squad have stacks to the rear on some of their square modular ones. However, this has a stack to the rear at an angle, which means we could put it in the corner. So it sits in the corner inside the studio. So the studio is 5 metre by 7 metre. We've got a lot of kit in here. So we've got this, we've got the Muscle Squad Phase 3. I'll do a video on that at some point as well. We've got a curve trainer. We've got a pec deck reverse fly. We've got a leg extension. Apologies. We've got a leg press. Then we've got a leg extension, leg curl. We've got a spin bike. And we've got dumbbells galore. And then we've got storage. So we wanted to utilise as much space in the studio as possible, which means because this goes in the corner, we've got some room on the floor for doing some functional training as well. So, as I said, a nice seat for you to be able to reach up and do your lat pulls. Really good. Now this one at the rear is a 1-to-1 system, which offers you 118 kilograms on the rear stack. Now on the side stacks, on your 2-to-1 system, you get 46.9 kilograms. And then on the sides, you get these little incrementals. So little tiny incrementals, which you find on most pulley and pulley systems anyway. It's got a pull-up. Now, obviously, again, I'm 6'2" and I tend to bang my head on the ceiling. So what I have a tendency to do is pull the Smith down a little bit. I'll do my pull-ups internally with my feet raised. I don't hit my head. Really good. On the side, like most systems, it's got weight ones, so you can put you store your weights on as well. But also on the rear of this one, I don't know if you can see it, I've got an easy bar just stuck there. Normally that is for your Olympic bar, but my Olympic bars are stacked elsewhere, and I just a nice place to put it. So all in all, quite a good system. What I would say is, if you're looking at one of these, contact Muscle Squad. They have a fantastic studio which we looked at initially, but they've built another one now. And that was really something that we took away is we looked at companies where, so one particular company, it was in the middle of a warehouse. They built one of these for people to come and have a look at, but there's forklifts going around you and people working and packing. But when we turned up here, we were surprised at what they got ready for people. We were surprised at the fact they offered us, they said, we can come and train here and have a session here, just so we can see how everything works. We didn't take them up on that, by the way, because we went we didn't just go once, I think we went 3 times in total to make sure what we wanted was this. And as I said, we looked at lots of companies, they all ticked boxes. There were some companies which had great systems, great kit, but this one just ticked the most boxes. But also it was the owner, who we speak to on a regular basis. It was his staff who were just so great with us. I'm going to do a video soon about a company which stitched us up, but I have to be wary. I need to get some advice first so I don't get myself into trouble. But Muscle Squad helped us out. And that's what you want from companies. You want to be able to go and try and test the equipment. And as I said, this might not suit anyone, but it might suit everyone. We're all different and we all have different needs. Now it's called an advanced trainer, but don't let that put you off that it's advanced, because if you're starting fresh and starting new, this is ideal. It really is. I only have, I think, one issue with this system, but it helps me out. So I'm 6'2", so when I'm using the Smith, and I do use the Smith sometimes, even though we've got another rack there, when we're working out together, I might sometimes use this if Olivia's using the other rack. is that, let's just say I'm doing an incline bench press. Sometimes when I get the form wrong, my elbows will hit the sides, which is good because it makes me change my form. So it's a negative with the plus, but that's it. That's the only thing I have an issue with this. It's easy to put together. If you get one, I was fortunate enough to have an impact wrench because of the studio. When we built the studio, I invested in an impact wrench. So putting all the equipment together was I don't want to say a piece of piss, get told off, but it was a doddle because I had an impact wrench. So we put this together ourselves. They do offer to come out and do it for you, which means they take all the rubbish and all the crap away. We opted to do it ourselves, but what I'll say is all the stuff that came wrapped and the big boxes, I stuck them at the front of the house, and within a few hours they'd all gone because people use them for moving. A guy picked up the big box that you get with this, because he was moving to Canada, so he wanted something to transport stuff, and it was just ideal. You might not get that, but you might, you never know. But all in all, an all-round great system. I love it. So just a bit of a context. When we looked at this, when we looked at this, we thought to ourselves, well, let's have a look on eBay, as you do, and see if there's any of these on here. Just that, let's have a look. But we couldn't find any. Now, is that because they haven't sold many? Don't know. Is that because people didn't want to sell them because they're so good? Again, don't know. But we just couldn't find any. But what we did find was this. So this is one of their modular trainers. Now, we got this because we thought, because it got a stack on the side, we thought that if one of us was using this, we would need another stack for ourselves. But that has become redundant because this does so much for us. So I was doing lat pulls on here the other day, and Olivia was doing chest flies on the bench, working together. So there was no need for that. So much so that we are going to get rid of that stack and we're going to put a belt squat there. But in our heads, we thought that one of us would perhaps use this and then one of us would perhaps use that. But because this offers so much for you, that has become redundant. So although we spent money on that, it has now cost us money because we need to get rid of that because this does so much. So I would say, have a look at their website. I'll stick it in, I'll stick a link in the bottom. Any questions? If you have a look at Studio 22 Coaching on Instagram, there's the build about this. So it took us 5 hours. Great instructions. I had them on paper, but also had them on the iPad because I'm blind and, you know, it's nice to zoom in. Any questions? Feel free to message me. If you want to like and subscribe, crack on. It's not a problem. I'm not here for that. I'm here to show people what you can build and what it takes to try and get the best kit for within your studio. But have a look at Muscle Squad. They don't just do these. If you've got a smaller sized space, they do a height one, which is brilliant. A few of my friends have been here and then been to Muscle Squad and bought from Muscle Squad. I've had a few people come here from my Facebook group and try kit out so they can see if it's right for them or not, but also to ask questions, because what you don't want to do is go somewhere and you get the salesman pitch, take it home and it's not right for you. And I'd rather do that. I'd rather offer people the chance to come and have a look and then perhaps go to Milton Keynes, have a look at their studio and come back here. So that's it. So my name's Matt. This is the Advanced Trainer from Muscle Squad. I like it. If you do, go get one. Stay strong. Have a great day.